Okay, hello everybody and welcome to today's webinar. We're talking about the Oxford MBA Fundamentals programme. It's Wednesday the 3rd of September and hello from wherever you are in the world. Maybe it's the morning, evening, afternoon. It would be great to hear from where you're from, so you can write in the chat where you're from and a little hello. We have a very international global audience today, so very nice of you to spend the time with us. Okay. Okay, so today, joining me, I'm Lindsay, your Executive Education Consultant from Saïd Business School. I've got Dave, who's our Customer Success Officer, and Attie. Hi, Dave, would you like to introduce yourself?
Certainly. Hello, everyone. My name's David Jones. I'm from the Saïd Business School, and my role here is the Customer Success Officer. I look after all the success advisors within the course. So you'll meet myself and colleagues who will look after you, support your journey throughout the course, make sure any technical issues are resolved quickly, make sure you get through the course, make sure you pass the course. So that's my side of things. And then we also have Attie, who's one of the course tutors, who will guide you through the content.
Excellent. Hi, Attie. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everybody. So I'm Attie Lotz. I am an innovation and design strategist, so management consultant, and as well as a tutor on the MBA Fundamentals course. So what that means is I help students with their course-related queries that they have, as also we have some live sessions that we run, sometimes even with faculty members or just with us, the tutors on the course.
Fantastic, thank you. So thanks for joining me today. Before we get fully started, just to know that this meeting is recorded and we'll send out the recording to you later on next week. Today's agenda for the webinar, so we'll talk about the programme, what you'll gain, the modules in full depth and how you'll learn. We're going to meet the faculty, how we can support you and the networking opportunities Saïd Business School can bring. We're going to look at the platform, so your online learning platform, how to apply, and at the end we're going to have a Q&A. So if you have any questions as we go through, please write them into the chat and then we can answer them at the end. Okay, so just to tell you a little bit about the programme. So Saïd Business School in general is a well-established professional education run directly by the University of Oxford. The online learning programmes, we have a large portfolio of many different topics, but they address the heart of strategic, digital, financial and technological transformational innovation. So we're really preparing business professionals and leaders for ever-changing futures. So maybe you don't want to go and do a full master's degree or the further full education. You've got a full-time job, you don't have time. These programs are short and they're designed to fit nicely around your everyday schedule. You'll really be able to balance your work and professional commitments. The program itself is 10 weeks and it's designed to enhance your leadership, driving your business performance and therefore accelerating your career growth. It's definitely a good one to have on your CV that you've studied with Saïd Business School. Everything's asynchronous, so you're enriched with different types of activities. There's tutor-led discussions that we'll hear about and live sessions as you go through. We're looking at all core business disciplines with strategy, marketing, operations, business analytics, finance and economics, leadership, organizational design and impact, with a lovely mix of academic tutors from Oxford University mixed with our industry experts to give you a really deep education. So here we are, what's your gain? Attie, can you tell us a little bit about the tools that people can apply to their role?
For sure. So I think this course does it very well to make things practical and things that you can immediately apply at work. That's we very often get that feedback from students that they find it quite applicable at work immediately. But it's not just about learning new frameworks, but learning on how to use them. And understanding that using different frameworks can illuminate insights and help you steer your business or your team or your business in the right direction.
Fantastic. Yeah, really useful skills. So really practicing to enhance leadership and management with greater skill, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and those skills will be really useful. You'll be studying with a global network of professionals. So we have people from multiple industries from all around the world. It's a really interesting mix of your cohorts. And everybody obviously is studying and balancing their commitments. So it's quite a fun networking opportunity. If you're in the UK, you can also accrue your CPD hours. You can gain points from this programme. And at the end, you get a digital certificate of completion. So just to remember as well, Oxford is still ranked first in the Times Higher Education in the world. So you're definitely in good hands. Just have a peek at the certificate. So this is what your certificate will look like. It's a digital certificate that you could print out if you wanted to pop it on your office wall. But lots of people embed it into their LinkedIn profile or your website, and you'll find networking opportunities pop up just from having that. So after successful completion, that's what you can gain as well. Okay, we'd love to hear from you now. A poll's going to pop up on your screen, and we'd love to know your main reason for considering this programme. Maybe it's to enhance your leadership approach or widen your network, general upskilling, or to gain an academic certificate. So we'll just wait for people to pop their answers into the poll. There's lots of us joining today. It's fantastic to see so many people with us. Okay. Yes, so general upskilling, absolutely. And leadership approach, yeah, those are all really strong things that definitely. About the upskilling, Attie, what other sort of things can help with people upskilling on this program?
I think it's in a 12-week course, it's hard to really go into depth in all the subjects. But what I think it does, the course does very well, is broaden your horizon on what the tools are available to you, so that you are then equipped to do that further learning should it arise in your work or in your career where you need to take a deeper dive. You've got the right starting point, you've got the vocabulary, you've got the basic tools to get you going if you were to take it forward to go into depth.
Absolutely. Fantastic. The academic certificate, so I'm glad nobody answered that one, because actually it's not an academic certificate that you gain from this program. So it's quite often confused with the MBA. We do have a full MBA, but this one is a professional development certificate rather than a university certificate. And here we have the difference between them, because quite often people ask me, is this a full MBA? And no. So as you see here on the screen, you've got a difference. There's obviously a huge difference in price. The time commitment is different. This one is online rather than full-time. And also you can really just go through the fundamental core things that you might need for your work, rather than deep diving into any other academic areas. So we've also got some lovely live sessions which come up, lovely discussions, and an app that we'll talk about a bit later on. So how you'll learn exactly. So the structure of the program is 10 weeks. The first week is orientation week. Dave, you run the orientation week, don't you? Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect on that orientation week?
Yeah, certainly, Lindsay. So first thing, as orientation, a bit like starting a new job, it's to get you familiar with the platform initially, and also to start to meet your fellow participants. So we run an hour-long introduction call, an orientation call, where you'll get to meet the team, you'll get to meet myself, Attie, and the other tutors and the success team, and then you'll also start to meet your fellow participants. During that whole orientation week, then you'll be granted access to the platform to start to familiarize yourself, but you won't have to worry about any content. The content comes after that first week. So we always say the orientation week is a nice, easy start to the course. You get used to the platform before worrying about the content, before worrying about doing any assignments. And one of the biggest call outs, and we'll talk about this more later on, but it's the networking piece. Every participant who's gone through this course and our other online courses, they always call out how much they value that networking piece. So we always encourage participants to start the course from day one, start it off during the orientation, to start chatting with your fellow participants. The hour-long introduction call that I talked about, we also give you an opportunity, we break you into smaller groups to actually start those networking conversations. So straight from the get-go, you're already meeting people, starting that journey.
Wow, that's really nice. I think that's really unique as well about the business school in general. So the high focus is networking and really getting to know your peers. So it's not an online program where you sit with your laptop and just read stuff or watch videos. It's very much very networky. Thank you, Dave. That's really helpful. We've also got the recommended learning time here. So we've put around 10 hours a week. So these hours you can fit into your own time. So obviously the live session is set. That normally happens on a Wednesday around lunchtime. That's recorded if you can't make it. And then you can watch back again and again on demand via your learning platform when you have time. It varies from 10 hours, depending on how regular you study or when was the last time you studied. Maybe you need a little warm up, which might take some more time. But the support team are there to help you in every way. So Dave, what kind of support can people get from your team?
Yeah, so just building on that point with the time, there will be weeks that some weeks you may want to put in more hours than the other weeks, and we break the course down quite nicely into modules. So then some modules you might want to focus on more. There's additional content to read as well. When you get to a stage where there is an assignment due and you're looking for support, or there's issues or questions you have around that assignment, then if the content is course specific, if it's about the content, then Attie and the other tutors will be able to support that. But my team will also guide you to help get you past and get you submitting that assignment. We understand a lot of you have taken this course or also got a day job to do. So you're trying to balance this with your normal day job, but then also fitting in this course, and then other family life also gets in the way. So we understand there are times where deadlines may not be able to be met. We're there to support, and we will try and be flexible as we can, but we do set a deadline because each assignment then carries on, continues the course. So there's only a certain amount you can extend by. But like I said, we want you to pass, and we want to support you with the best we can. So I would ask, reach out to us as soon as possible when you are going through the course, and we will work with you on your individual circumstances to get you through it. And whether that's you need a little bit more time, whether you need a bit of support, whether you need clarity on the assignments, then definitely the team is there to support you. So we encourage everyone to be there and asking the questions if you're not sure, and using the support that's there, because as I say, the ultimate aim is to get you through and get you passed on this course. So that's what we want to do.
Fantastic. That sounds really helpful. And yeah, you've got the live discussions as well to ask any questions, along with videos, quizzes, and other lots of nice things. We'll show you the platform in a moment on this webinar. Thanks, Dave. We've got the assessments here as well. So the assessments make up 90% of your grades. There's also a quiz at the end of each module. The overall pass mark is 50%, which is quite challenging. So it's a summative collection of your marks as you go through. So there's no exam at the end. Attie, can you tell us a little bit about the assessments? What can people expect from assessments?
Sure. It's mostly modeled around a use case study, where you then apply the different course material that you've learned. There's only 3 assessments. So after every third module, there's an assessment for that module. And every assessment also has like a reflection piece, which is good to cement your learning. The assessments are graded by the tutors, where we give detailed feedback to try and best assist you in your learning journey.
Amazing. Yeah, lots of people say that's something they loved about the program, actually, that they start off reflecting on where they've been, what they've done, and then their goals as well. So you really get a clear set sort of mindset about your next steps. You know, maybe you're at a crossroads, or you've done the same job for 10 years, and this can really boost and inspire the next steps, or progress in the path that you're already in. So that's amazing. And the feedback, how long do people get for the feedback? What's the format? How do they get the feedback from you guys?
We use a system, the platform, I think we'll cover it later in this call, called Canvas, and on there they submit their assignments, and within that they get the feedback with their grade.
Amazing. So it's really fairly quick feedback, isn't it?
Yeah, and if they want additional feedback, which sometimes people want further clarification on feedback, we are reachable. Once again, we'll cover the system called Pronto, where we can interact directly over a chat function. So if people want clarification, we're always there.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, really useful. And if someone hasn't done their best in the assignment, do they get to have another go, or is it just a one-off hand in?
I don't think we've ever had that.
Oh, fantastic. So the tutoring must be really good to get people in the right place.
Look, you start seeing it when people struggle in the first assessment, and then you help them and try and assist them best so that they get there for the next one. We don't redo, well, Dave, you correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't allow a redo on it, but we do
Okay.
assist you so that you do better in the next one, and that you
Excellent.
understand where you fell short exactly, and where you so that you can learn from that.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so here we have the online learning platform itself. So we use Canvas. So Canvas is a really nice tool. It's very simple to navigate through. You can't break it. So if you click around, it will just bring you back right to home. Dave, can you tell us a bit about the usage of Canvas and how people use it during the program?
Yeah, certainly. So the way we've designed it is we've broken the modules down into 3 main blocks. So a block consists of the 3 modules. The left-hand screenshot that you'll see there is a snapshot of how it visually will look, but all that is doing is like tying the modules in one place together. When you then and we stagger the period, so we don't give you all the modules all in one go. We stagger it over a period over the 10 weeks. So you'll find you will get 3 modules given to you after the orientation week. Then you get the first 3 modules, and then you are able to then navigate into module 1, open module 1, and then you'll be able to view it. It opens all in a web browser, so just a normal web browser is required for it. It is also accessed through your phone if you want. Some people will want to read the content while they're traveling or away from their laptop maybe, so you can also open those tabs on your phone and view that web page with all the content on your phone as well. But the best way to get the full experience is probably doing it via a laptop, and then you'll be able to read the content. The content's mixed in with text, exercises and videos, so you'll get the full interactive experience by doing it on a laptop, but especially reading content, as I said, that's fine on your phone. And is very intuitive. You can kind of see on the middle screenshot, there's a progress bar, and then you will just click your way through. So you'll click next and then work your way through the actual pages. When you actually get into the learning content, you'll also have a percentage bar and a menu where you can navigate back if you want to revisit a topic. So it saves your progress as you go through. So then you can then, if you need to stop, then you can stop and then go back into the learning content and actually pick up where you left off. So very intuitive, as Lindsay was saying. And if you do get stuck, we're obviously there to guide you and support you and push you through it. But you should find the platforms very, very intuitive, very straightforward.
Oh, fantastic. And you've got the calendar there as well, haven't you? You can link it to your work calendar as well. So if you wanted to pop in the live sessions so you don't miss them, and you can integrate it all. So it's really, really clever. And you'll get the list of live sessions and the date, the times, so you can really plan ahead. Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, the module structure has 3 units and follows the same pattern. So the first one will always be the fundamentals for today, looking at the fundamental topics within the discipline, why they're important in organizations today. Then we apply it to the world. So we're looking at real life case studies, real life examples. We've got real life experts that might pop in to the structure as well. So it's very, very useful, and you really apply it to the world that you're in now, so everything's up to date. Fresh ideas for the future as well, so considering the up and coming issues and any developments in the discipline, so really hot topics. Let's have a look at the module overview then. So block A consists of the first 3 modules, and we've popped the full syllabus into the chat, so if you want to have a look at the brochure, you've got it there. So the first module talks about business strategy. You're looking at frameworks and innovative thinking. So as Attie said, this is something you can apply straight into your role from the get-go, from day one. The frameworks that you have from that module 1, you can pop straight into your work. You're formulating and communicating strategic recommendations. You're embracing new trends beyond conventional methods. Module 2 will take you into customers and marketing, and we have a fantastic tutor, Rhonda, who's an expert in the field. So she takes this module discovering about vital marketing and how vital it is to your organization, the strategic objectives, looking at customer centricity as a growth driver. Rhonda was actually on one of our previous webinars. She was fantastic. So you can always ask me for the recording of that one if you want to know more about the marketing module. We also look at module 3, so you've got innovation and entrepreneurship, using, again, critical frameworks, assessing viability of business ideas, emphasizing importance of innovation and scalability. So we've popped the assessment here as well. So the size of the assessments, as you see here, are quite manageable. The first one is 400 words, 800 words and 200 words. So if you're busy, obviously the content of those is very rich, but a manageable size to hand in. Okay, block B looks at module 4, 5 and 6. So with 4, we've got operations and management, really looking at the value in operations and making sure they really align with your business strategies. Learning to adopt the process view for detailed analysis of your business processes, waste elimination and social sustainability. We've got a couple of expert tutors who pop into that module as well. So sustainability, a very hot topic in the UK, and I'm sure it's coming across the world as well. Module 5 takes us into business analytics, so exploring the value of the analytics for modern organizations and tools as well that can help you with that. Understanding new trends in data-driven techniques and learning how to integrate analytics more effectively. Module 6 will take into finance and economics, so the fundamental finance skills. We have our very famous Pina, who pops into this module as well, and you can watch her on YouTube. She's got the Oxford Tea Talks, some really interesting videos if you've got some spare time. Learning how to engage in impact investing, so maximizing outcomes. Conducting valuation analysis and building financial models and applying these principles to real life scenarios. Attie, is it true in this module there's actually a real life accounting and figures exercise to do as well?
Well, it is a case study, which we just do. The fundamental principles of finance is expressed through doing a leverage buyout exercise. And even though not many of us would come across a leverage buyout any day soon, it's a good way to just learn the basic fundamental principles that you can apply at work.
Fantastic. Yeah. So practical assessments and assignments. Brilliant. Block C is the last 3. So you've got people management and leadership. So a lovely reflection as well, how to recognize your leadership style, identify or persuade how you influence others in your environments, understanding assumptions and values and artifacts that characterize the organizational culture and subcultures. So a really useful one for people management. Module 8 will take you into the organizational design. So really reviewing the key organizational strategies, learning how to match the right people and the processes really to optimize the impact for long term. Also, there's lots of changes that's happened in the last few years in business. So really understanding that organizational context. It's a very rich module. Module 9 will take our famous impact from within. So across our portfolio of around 20 odd programs, each has the famous impact from within. So you're really looking at the individual level through your business impacts, how it impacts into the wider world, and adopt approaches that suit your business context and create value. And then you've got the assessments as well. So as you see, the biggest assessment here is about 1,000 words and the smallest is 200. So again, a manageable size. Okay, so let's hear from you again. Another poll for you. Challenges. What's the biggest challenge that you face in your career right now? Could it be the managing of people and the skills that it takes to overcome people management? Maybe it's the scaling of your business, making the decisions, or understanding the finances. Okay, so you can just answer, pop your answers into the chat. They're topping up. Okay, the results are in. So scaling of the business and understanding the finances. So we spoke a bit about the financial structure as well. Scaling the business. Attie, which of those do you think is the most useful we can help with on this program?
Strategic decision making is definitely covered within block A that we have. It just disappeared, so now I don't see the stats anymore.
Oh,
That's
yeah, they've disappeared as well.
Wait, that's all right. Understanding business finances, I think it's a good start to start understanding the basic underlying principles of finance. Things like discounted cash flow, present value calculations, and things like that. That are, if you don't know what it is, don't stress about it. We do show you step by step how to go through it. Scaling your business, we don't touch on it specifically in depth, but I do think you will derive value from the course on scaling your business, especially when it comes to things like operations management. Operations management is one of my favorite modules because I think it's very well done. And I do think it does come into play when scaling your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually watched one of the videos and I found the waste management one was very interesting. Yeah. Okay. No spoiler alert. So also on our faculty, apart from Attie and our other course tutors, we've got our industry leaders. So as I said, each module has an expert who has been successful or is successful in leading industries. We've also got some other faculty. So Andrew Stephen, he's the UK's top marketing academic. So he just won for the 10th year in a row. So Andrew actually takes over the whole program. We've also got Rhonda, as I mentioned, she's leading the marketing module, and she's from the States. She's got an amazing career, so you can learn a lot from her. And Pina, she is also on our fintech program as well. She's our entrepreneurship and innovation professor. So some wonderful academics who you'll hear from in the live sessions as well. Okay, so we talked a little bit about support and we've talked about the Pronto app, so there you can see the Pronto app's there to help. We've also got the tech support team, we've got the tailored feedback and live sessions. Is there anything, Dave, that we haven't mentioned about that?
So just for anyone who hasn't heard of Pronto, which you may not have done, I'll give you a little outline. So Pronto is our chat function built into the course, so it's accessed directly from Canvas from the course content. And Pronto is a hybrid between I guess, between Teams, between Slack, between WhatsApp. It's a group chat functionality, but it's also a direct messaging like application. It's available on laptop, or there's a mobile app for it as well. So a lot of participants download the mobile app, so then they can keep a view of the conversations while they're out and about. And like I said, you can pose questions to the tutors, to the success team within the Pronto app. But one of the tasks that we ask, and you may see it in part of the course content, is graded discussions. So they're like a subject is posed by the tutors, so a question's posed, and then it's a case of you in the small groups discussing it with your peers. And it's not like a group exercise. You're still writing your own individual response, but it's all text-based, so it's not like a conversational group. You're just responding to a group question that's posed, and then you can also comment on your fellow participants' answers as well. So then building that discussion, and the different questions are posed throughout the different modules as well. So it will keep it fresh throughout the course. But you'll use Pronto a lot throughout the course, as I said, to ask questions. We also post updates and reminders and deadlines on Pronto as well. So you'll definitely use that alongside viewing the course content.
Fantastic. And that must be really useful for people that are spread across the globe, isn't it? Because we have participants from sort of Asia to the UK to Europe, everybody in a different time zone. And it really must help to keep up to date in contact with everybody, no matter what the time is. Yeah,
Exactly.
Fantastic. All right, lovely. Thank you. So moving on to our networking opportunities, once you complete the program successfully, as you will, you become a member of our alumni network. So this is a huge network of, I think it's around 35,000 members at the moment. Is that right, Dave?
Around that, yeah. It keeps building all the time, so it keeps adding new participants to it. So.
Yeah, wonderful. So we've got about 177 different countries, and you'll get to be a lifelong member of the alumni network. There's also an alumni reunion in Oxford. So there is alumni which come from the main campus, and alumni, and some of those events might overlap actually. So even expanding the network even more. What can someone expect from the alumni network, Dave?
Yeah, so whenever anyone asks, I probably break it down into 3 parts to it. One of which, and a lot of people love this, is you get the opportunity to come to Oxford in person and actually come to the alumni reunion. I know that's not practical for everyone, especially if you're all based different countries around the world. But if you do get the opportunity, then firstly, you get to come to Saïd Business School in person. And then you get a series of mini lectures. The picture on there is from our previous event last October, where I think there was about 350 people came to Oxford and actually met the dean, and then met various different professors throughout the day. And then in the evening, they were treated to a college dinner. So if you know the setup of Oxford, Oxford has various established colleges based all over the city. And then those colleges are historic buildings, but then they also have like dining halls and where the normal students will attend, but an alumni event is hosted in that college, so you would get to experience the college dinner and the whole university experience. So that's one of the key main elements of alumni. So that's a great experience to meet people face to face and actually experience Oxford in person. But don't worry, that's not the only elements of it. So then there's an alumni network, which is an online platform where the faculty, the professors will publish their like documents, their works, their writings, and then you will also be coordinated into different channels. One which the MBA fundamentals, you will have fellow participants who've all completed the MBA fundamentals only, as well as access to other people who've completed other courses in our portfolio. So you're joining that that network, as Lindsay said, around 36,000 people, and growing and growing day by day, that community, and then having access to Oxford professors, their written pieces, their written articles, and actually being able to view them and access them and comment on them and build a network that way. And then finally, the third element of alumni is LinkedIn community. So our LinkedIn community is very active, and for those on LinkedIn, you will be familiar with that. But it's the easiest and quickest way to communicate with people who've done an Oxford Saïd online course, and you will actually be able to join that as soon as you complete the course and actually have that access to a vast network of professionals who've completed Oxford courses. So all those three elements are obviously optional. You can decide after the end of the program if that's what you would like to participate in, but to keep that as networking going long after the course has finished, we find that previous participants love that and definitely value being part of that community.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I would join today if I wasn't already here. Yeah, no, brilliant. That sounds really exciting, and just to be part of that Oxford experience. Lots of people actually, once they've completed one of our programs, they choose Saïd to be their sort of professional development school, and go on to do maybe one a year of our programs. So even more networking and joining different networks. Really great. Wow, that sounds amazing. Thanks, Dave. Okay, so now the important bit, how to apply. You'll see the codes on the screen. So there's one to enroll. There's also one to book a call with me if you just want to talk through maybe your personal situation or timing or finances. That's something I can help you with. We've got the application deadline for our next start date, which is the 8th of October. So you can apply right up close. Ideally, you'd apply the week before, please. Otherwise, it gives Dave a lot of work. But you can sign up right up until a couple of days before. The entry requirements is very simple. You just need to be keen to learn and ideally have some professional background. But we don't use the usual university requirements such as English and things like that. So we'd like you to be successful. So so make sure that you can communicate in the group discussions, and that's fine. The fee is usually 3,500, but we have a wonderful 20% discount running at the moment. That discount runs up until the 8th of October. So please do enroll using the code there. The code is alumni 50k. So it's the code that you need to type in as we're doing. I think we've got 50k alumni promotion that's going around the whole side school. So just type in that when you go to pay. You can enroll via the website or now straight through the QR code. We've also got group bookings as well. So if you're a member of a company that would like to pop your employees through, please do email the XED email address there that you can see on the screen. That's a slightly different process, and we can set up an individual portal for your HR team to sign up directly your employees. So quite often we have group bookings all together. Which makes it really exciting to learn together. So buddy up if you've got someone at work that you'd love to do the program with. It's always good to have a study buddy. So friends are welcome with you individually, of course. So if you'd like to book a call with me, we can talk through all of that as well. Attie, I would like to just ask you, is there anything else you could share with us about the program before we go to the Q&A?
I don't think we, Dave mentioned that we're on Pronto, there's discussions. I think that's also a valuable learning opportunity where we all interact. When I say we all, I mean tutors as well as students, where we share our thoughts and we discuss things further, because the learning is not just about what the course provides, but we also end up learning from each other. I, as a tutor, definitely don't know everything. And for me, it's also a great experience interacting and learning and seeing everybody else learn from each other, including myself.
Wow, that's amazing. So if someone's got, you know, hot topic of the day, you could have a good discussion about it as well. So amazing. It's nice to hear that it's not so rigid. So quite often we think, oh, Oxford University, you know, very, very rigid. But these programs are very everyday, professionally aimed at developments. So wonderful. That's really great. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at the chat then. So I'll just open my chat screen and have a look at what's been going on in the chat as we've been talking. We've got some lovely countries. Wow, we've got Vietnam, UK, India, Miami, Atlanta, Netherlands, Egypt, Spain. Wow, Italy. Yep, so this is just a great example of how global the program really is, as you can see. So thank you for staying up if it's late for you. Mexico, Malaysia. Wow, that's really nice. France, South Africa, Australia. Wow, okay. Okay. So we have a question here about the complete program fee. Yes. So very good question. Thank you. The program fee has to be paid all in one go. At the moment, we don't have an installment plan. It's something that we're trying to organize because we know that lots of people, yes, when you're converting larger currencies and putting it through. So if you'd like to make a booking with me, I can talk about a possible solution. But generally it's a one-off payment. So don't forget about the discount, which will bring it down as well. Dave, we've got a question here about post-graduation stay options in the UK. So
yeah, I was just reading that. I think this is more referring to the full MBA course, and that would be then a visa requirement. So the MBA fundamentals, as we're saying, is an online course, and so that option wouldn't be applicable for that.
Yeah, brilliant. Yep, so no visas. We don't have anything to do with that. Okay. Also the GMAT. So there's another question about the GMAT. The GMAT is required for the main MBA, but not for this one. Okay. So there's nothing, you don't need to worry about anything like that.
And I think that's the one good thing about that. There is no like entry requirement. There's no entry exam. There's no GMAT test or anything like that. It's an application. Yes, you apply to join, but we're not going to say, sorry, you can't join or something like that. It's just an application to apply, and there's no prerequisite in that regard.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's a great way for Oxford. Get it on your CV. We've got a question, hi Walid, about the schedule. So October runs until the 17th of December. So you'll finish just in time for your Christmas holidays. The university closes as well, so we don't want you to study over Christmas. So yeah, 8th of October till the 17th of December is the running time. Downloading presentations from the slide platform. That's a really good question. I know that you can, the materials available for up to 6 weeks. Dave, does it have downloads as well?
We provide certain elements of downloads. So, for example, transcripts of the videos are available as downloads. The course content, as you're saying, that's available for 6 weeks after the course. So it gives you plenty of time to study the course. But then if you want to revisit certain areas, make your own notes afterwards, take certain elements, then you're happy to do that in that 6 weeks after the course is actually finished. Brilliant.
And yeah, Attie's going to give you some great frameworks, so you'll be able to have them right from the get-go using them as well. Email provided for alumni students.
You just use your own email. So you just have your own personal email. You don't get given an Oxford email.
Right. Yeah. Practicals conducted. Okay, so the practical assignments, I think we discussed the assignments. They're written assignments. So you've got the Pronto app. Is that right, Attie? There aren't any other practicals being conducted?
Apart from assessments.
Yeah, the assessments.
There's just the assessments. I mean, there's within the course material, there are activities that you can that you do as you work along, which we always highly recommend participants do as you get to really apply the knowledge that you've just learned as you go through it. But that's not graded at all. It's just for your own benefit.
Fantastic. Carlos, we've got a great question here, Carlos. Thank you. He's planning to apply for the Oxford MBA starting next year. So would we recommend taking the fundamentals before the full MBA? What do you think, Attie?
So I didn't do my MBA at Oxford, but I did do an MBA. And my advice would be rest well, and then take it by the horns when you start. I don't think it's necessary to do this as a precursor to a full-time MBA.
Yeah, unless of course you've been out of studies for quite some time, then it might be something nice to prepare yourself with, and obviously network with the academics. It doesn't help your application. So lots of people ask this as well. If I do the fundamentals, does it help with my application for the full one? So not officially, but like I said, it's always, it's always going to help your professional development. This will be more practical than the theory. So, so definitely.
Lindsay, what I can share is, Carlos, if you're unsure of whether you want to do a full-time MBA, I always recommend to people, do an online course and see how you feel about learning. See how it is for you to have a lot going on in life and where you have to apply yourself in a learning context. And if you like it and it works for you, then you're ready.
That's great advice. Absolutely. We've got a question about having a master's in a completely different subject. Can I still apply? Absolutely. So if you've already got a master's, you should be a whiz at the academic side of things, but also the practical things will really help as well. So remember, it's mostly aiming at professional development, this program. So absolutely, please do apply. There's a question about recommending someone to choose the full MBA. I think, Attie, you touched on that a moment ago. So, yep, you might want to rest and not do double study, but you might want to warm up before you do. So it really depends on your personal situation, Leslie. So thank you for your question. If you'd like to book a one-to-one, I think we can talk about that in more detail. Maybe, you could always tell me about your work experience or your goals, and then we can work out which is the right choice for you. I don't actually look after the full MBA, so you'd need to book a second meeting, and then you can compare how you feel, as Attie said. See how you feel. The first course begin in 2026. Very good question. Thank you, Chan. So we've got, I believe it's January or February.
January. I've got, the exact date is 21st of January. We've got one in 2026.
Excellent.
So either October this year or then January, the 21st of January next year.
Brilliant. Okay, a couple of questions. Yeah, January is a great time to study, although this is the cheapest though, so do take advantage of that 20% now. Are you able to purchase the physical certificates? Right, so you get the digital certificates. If you want to print a copy, then you can, obviously on beautiful paper, but we're going to provide you with the digital certificates. That certificate as well has sort of blockchain technology linked to it as well, so you can verify its fraud protection and everything. So it's a really good one to keep it in a digital format. What's the usual success rate for the program? Dave, do you have any information about graduates?
Yeah, so overall the pass rate is 99%. So virtually everyone will pass the course. The success rate of a cohort is around 90%. And the reason for that is because people not always able to complete on that cohort. And we do offer the option of a deferral to the next cohort. So on the current cohort, I would say around 90%, but anyone who's applying and doing the course we have a 99% pass rate.
Wow, that's brilliant. So that really shows how well your team supports learners as well with the tutors, that we won't let you get behind and fail. We've got also a lovely question about class timings. So we mentioned this before, that the class timing is usually Wednesdays around lunchtime in the UK. They are recorded and available on demand, so you can watch back. But we recommend that you join live if you can. I know that some people have got up at 4 in the morning or stayed awake till midnight, so it's definitely worth it. And it's such a short time, you know, that 10 weeks will fly by. So if you could just calendar it in for some strange timings, if that's where you are in the world, that it's definitely worth it. You've got the time to turn your work in after the course, maybe Attie or Dave, I'm not sure. The time schedule.
So the assignments are built in as part of during the 10 weeks. So you will be completing the assignment throughout. So you would be turning in on a every 3 weeks basis, basically. So like I mentioned earlier, there is a little bit of flexibility with extensions, but you do need to be doing it as you're going. So like extensions, we say usually a few days after the deadline. So you do need to set the time aside to be able to do the work on the assignments throughout the course.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. We've got a great question here that I'd like to know about the MSc Finance. So we actually have an amazing program that's starting today that also has that discount code called the FinTech program. So if you just have a little search on our website, SBS, then you'll see the FinTech program. So yes, if you apply today, you can jump on that one. Okay. As an entrepreneur, yes. So the modules as well go through entrepreneurship. Attie, maybe you can tell us a little bit about entrepreneurship within those modules.
Yeah, sure. It's not a. I mean, it's one module within the course. I'm trying to understand Leslie's question. I think she was asking earlier, when would you recommend it for an entrepreneur? Well, Leslie, so if I understand you correctly, you're asking which course would you recommend doing the MBA fundamentals or full-time MBA for an entrepreneur? If you're currently an entrepreneur, I don't think you should spend your time as somebody who's built businesses. I don't think you should be spending your time now on doing a full-time MBA because you're busy building your business. I do, however, think in both options, whether you do MBA fundamentals or full-time MBA, I think it will very much equip you quite well to be an entrepreneur as you learn to use different tools. I mean, I like to think of an MBA as you broaden your horizon on all the different ways that you can solve a problem. And that's what is entrepreneurship but solving problems.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. We should print that on a t-shirt, Attie. All right then. So live sessions, Wednesdays, usually at 12, and they last for 60 minutes. So you can book in a 60-minute time schedule there in your calendar. Okay, companies with education stipend support programs. Yeah, okay. So the funding, we don't have any other funding. If some people are funded by their companies, and I can help you set up a sort of proposal for funding. We don't have any scholarships or anything else connected with the business school, as you'd normally find in the university. So if you'd like advice on funding, maybe we can have a one-to-one about the situation. You can book in with me. Yep, so guidelines, generally you'll need to make the program benefit your work, and as Attie said, the skills that we can teach you will directly immediately impact your role and your company and the finances and the strategies. So it's a good one to get funding from your employer, because you can directly help your firm and processes. So yes, absolutely. Okay, if there's any more questions, please pop them in the chat. I'm aware of the time. We have a couple of minutes left. There's no exams, so the tests and exams are in the format of assessment, so there won't be an exam at the end. There's a tiny quiz at the end of each module. I say tiny. Is it tiny, Attie? I don't know.
The assessments are, I think they're the right amount of detail. to be honest. So it does take some work to put it in. It's not something you quickly do in an hour. It does take effort to go through it. I think the assessments are very well designed that ChatGPT can't do it for you. And you'll have to apply your mind and work through them. Maybe you do a couple of iterations. But what I can say is after you've done an assessment, you would have really taken to heart what you've learned in those modules.
Amazing. So real growth opportunity. Wonderful. And the quiz at the end of each module, Dave, they're about 10 minutes, weren't they? Did you say?
Yeah, 10 minutes is a good guide.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So if anyone else has got a question, we can hang on for a couple of minutes. If there's no more questions, it's a nice time to round off. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today, and for Dave and Attie for your wisdom has been really valuable. Thank you for all of you from joining from all over the world. As you can see, we've got a really helpful team, a really lovely community at Saïd Business School. Okay, there's a question about the study material. I think we mentioned that before, didn't we? That there are some things that you can download,
Yep.
And save. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing lots of you joining and enrolling in for the October course.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you then. Okay, I'm going to end the webinar, and feel free to email me if you think of anything later on as well. All right. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.